Tease the League boys here, back with a Lions-Chargers matchup. We've got the Detroit Lions heading into LA to play the Chargers. And we've got probably my favorite coach in the league versus probably my least favorite coach in the league. So with this one, we've got the Lions as a 3-point favorite, total over under 48.5. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe if you want to see more content. Comment down below who's going to win. Engage, what are your thoughts? Let the people know what we're thinking about this game.
A little bit surprised to see the 3 number all the way for the Lions. I would have thought this was probably like a Lions 1.5 point favorite type game, especially with the Chargers coming on a little bit, finally getting their first decisive win in a long time under Staley. Most of the time they're just kind of going to find a way to lose and then maybe just scratch one out by the hair on their chin. But last week they kind of put the beat down on the Jets and got 8 sacks, and the defense really dominated, and the special teams got a touchdown. Herbert, didn't have to do much with that broken finger. A good team performance from the Chargers last week. Got a good Lions team coming into town this week, with a big question mark being: is David Montgomery just going to come back in and get what he was doing before he got injured, or are we going to see some more Jahmyr Gibbs, who's really taken off with this offense? It's going to be kind of exciting to see what they do there. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Maybe get going a little bit here. They've kind of lost touch with him just a little bit. But a team that's 6-2 that kind of beat up on the Raiders a little bit last week, but still I think is kind of feeling the sting from that Baltimore beatdown. They kind of need to get something rolling a little bit here. What are you thinking?
That's kind of what I like to think too here with an AFC versus NFC matchup. For the Lions, it's kind of important to be able to beat an AFC team after that beatdown by the Ravens. Also interesting game because we usually talk about Jared Goff away from home versus home, but this is going to be in SoFi, so you're going to be indoors. You should see a similar production. We did see the Jahmyr Gibbs breakout games, and then now with Montgomery back, what's that split going to look like? We also talked about the trade deadline. They picked up Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yes.
So will we see him sliding to the number 2 spot? Also, something to keep an eye on, since the Lions like to run the ball. Peoples-Jones is a really good blocker. For a receiver, he could really open up them bouncing some of these runs to the outside.
Yeah.
Or if they're trying to get Amon-Ra St. Brown back involved, like you were talking about, some quick screens with Donovan Peoples-Jones out there, might be able to spring one.
Yeah, really like that analysis. Always a big body there with DPJ. Really, really interested in this Charger squad, though. Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, they're kind of just sputtering a little bit. They've been going a little bit here lately, but this team that was predicted to be such a good high caliber offense with Kellen Moore coming in, not really giving you what you wanted to expect out of those guys. Herbert, obviously the broken finger. Staley doesn't care, still call QB sneak, but whatever. I want to see this offense step it up a little bit. You lose Mike Williams, let's see Josh Palmer get involved. Let's get the tight ends, Parham, involved. Let's get some points on the board. Let's find Eckler on these screens. Maybe just hand the ball off to him more. I feel like they don't just hand the guy the ball enough. He's just, a really good player that they need to utilize a little more. But what do you think they can do to maybe spring that offense?
I like the just handing it off to Eckler because he looks pretty determined since he's been back from injury.
Yeah, I agree.
We always know they, pass it out to him a lot. And we've seen Keenan Allen going crazy this year.
Got his 10,000th.
And had that spectacular catch against the Jets as well.
Yeah.
That for everybody that bet on his props, cash is over. Cash you out a little bit.
Yes, sir.
But I want to see a little bit more creativity. I feel like we don't see enough motion resulting in big plays. And I definitely want to see a little bit more of Eckler toting the rock on running plays.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really interesting to me, mentioned earlier, probably my favorite coach versus my least favorite. I think Dan Campbell is fantastic, really motivates people, helps his team get wins from losing positions. Brandon Staley, I feel like he's really good at getting losses from winning positions. And then the other thing with you mentioning offense is, we talk about the Kellen Moore move, but sometimes what goes under the radar is how good of an OC Ben Johnson is.
Right.
So what do you think about what this Lions offense could look like against this Chargers defense?
Yeah, I think this Chargers defense is a team that plays well when they're ahead, and they can go get that quarterback. But when they got to, defend against the pass game with a Sam Laporta and a Amon-Ra St. Brown and maybe a Josh Reynolds, and maybe a Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield or lined up in the slot, you can see the Lions having a big day here. And going back to this coaching matchup, maybe leave a comment. You hear us harping on Staley every single week. Leave a comment and let us know if we're being a little too hard on this guy or if he's really as bad as we think he is. Just been, a rough couple spells of years for him. And leave a comment and see if you like Dan Campbell as much as us too, because he's just that hard-nosed guy that I just love, always willing to put his, whatever, whether it be making a call that nobody expected, a fake punt on their 25-yard line, something like that that's going to put his job on the line if it were to go sour. Never scared to do something like that for a squad if he feels like it's the right time. So let us know in the comments if you think this is the matchup that we think it is coaching-wise, or if you think Brandon Staley's this genius and Kellen Moore's this genius that everybody kind of claims they are. So, let us know what you think there.
And as always, thank y'all for watching, and have a wonderful day.